So now we go into #2 gallery. This is a northern Zhou tomb gate entry. Could have been spectacular when it was new. Can't make out the detail too well. And in the back was the couch. Presumably this is where the body was laid out. I don't know what the scenes are. My guess is if it's like any other place in the world, the person dying wants to leave either scenes about his future life or scenes about his past life. His family, things he liked to do, that sort of thing. But I'm just guessing right. Hey, this is the Han and the Hun. I think the Han came after... I think it was after the spring and autumn and the Warring States period. This was a bronze jar in the shape of a leather bag. Now this was 206 to 220, so this was after the Qing dynasty. Notice how simple the pottery was. Is that an expressed artistic preference, or did they lose somehow the techniques of the earlier Zhou and the Xi'an? These are bronze plaques. For what purpose, it doesn't say. Some little figurines look rather simplistic. That one looking rather childlike almost. Strange, this is a silver tiger. Doesn't look silver. It's from the Warring States period. These are figurines from a little bit later period, right after the Qin dynasty, when obviously they didn't have the wherewithal to do what Qin Shi Huangdi got away with. As you look at these faces as I pan across, they almost all look identical, as though they were cast. Same. Again, a less expensive expediency, if in fact that's true. These are remnants of silk from 25 to 2220 AD. Just taking these just because it's novel. This is a plaque from the same period, bronze. Don't know what plaque means. It looks like it would have been a nice brooch or something like that. This is a Western Han period horse, 206 BC to AD 83 or 8, excuse me. But the conformation, the proportion looks out of whack. The head and the neck look small compared to the torso, particularly the rump. So that story was the opening of the Silk Road. There was a gilded bronze silkworm from 206 BC AD. This is an iron halberd on the left from Xi'an when it was Chang'an. 206 BC 88, and an iron dagger. These are just some of the tile work and so forth that would have been expressed and used in the city at that time. Bigger than the ones we're used to seeing. But certainly after Qingshi Huangdi, there certainly was a tradition of these figurines. Here we're interesting to see color on them. Almost getting to be rather stylized now. Pottery of a male figure with genitalia. However you pronounce that. Female equestrian. Okay, that explains a few things. This is some pretty engraving. It's probably the Chinese crane. You can see the head in the upper right. This is a large tile. It'd be interesting to know where they use tile of this size, maybe as on the ridge of a building. This is a little bronze heater. I don't know if it was a heater or would have been used for a barbecue. Here's a display that I'll slowly pan of some of these decorative roof ends that we see. Whether these representing any particular, like family sayings or whatever, don't know. I certainly get a hint of the variety. This is a small jade seal that an official or other person would use. This beautiful piece was an incense burner. Can't tell whether it was gold or brass. But it has a bamboo type shaft, segmented. Could have been an elegant piece, wouldn't it? These are glazed pottery depictions of wells that are probably used for vessels of some sort, but maybe not. The workshop. They're a model of a mill. These may have been just artists at the time creating typical things to their community, although this is a pretty good mill. Model of a toilet with pigsty. Copy of a swimming pool. Eastern Han, 220 AD. There's sundry animals from the farm or otherwise. Animals have always been something for artists to recreate for a multitude of reasons. This is supposedly a barn. Same with that. Same with all of these being barns. I'm wondering, rather than barns, if their definition of barn isn't rather a storage for grain. This one kind of pretty with two little figurines of crow, maybe a rooster and a hen. This is a painted pottery container. These look strangely uninteresting, given pottery I've seen from all over the world at earlier stages, I believe. These are all bronze. This one looking peculiarly, this is an iron cauldron. Maybe that roughness is deterioration from rusting over time. And of course, artists work on all mediums, as do craftsmen. Notice this is a garlic-shaped flask, at least the head of it is. This being some kind of a rug weaving machine. And look how it's designed at the top to allow for a considerable continuous roll. Presumably these two artifacts could be used for the storage of wealth. On the left, a horse's hoof, and on the right, a unicorn's hoof. Of gold, of course. These are molds for casting the coins. Interesting. Interesting is the potential for counterfeiting. Here, a pottery mold. Don't know if that's wood, though. It doesn't look like, maybe stone, a little bit harder. This being a watchtower, but I don't know why it's related to ritual and custom. But gilded bronze ring holder mask, whatever that is. This is a beautiful glazed green pottery lamp. I don't know if those little saucers there would have held oil, maybe even the bigger ones. Presumably all these are lamps. They would have just literally given off a little bit of light. These look like very light relief carving and then painted, apparently. We can't see the paint, although there is some hint of perhaps paint. Whether it's just the red or whether the black is also some of the paint, I don't know. Looks like a square, probably. It says a bronze ruler, but looks like a ruler and maybe a square. Here another bronze ruler. Really forms of paper. What's the date? 140 to 87 BC. This looks like an illustration of the making of paper. Iron gear. It's interesting. An iron chariot part. You wonder, it's not threaded, so I don't know if they had the concept of the nut and screw at that time. Paperweights. These are gold discs that were unearthed in a hoard. Probably like me sticking stuff in a tin can and burying it in the ground and then dying. Nobody knows it's there for 1,000 years.